Hi, my name is Kat, and I had VSG surgery on August 8th, 2018. My high weight was in February of 2008 when I started this whole process, and I was at 370. I followed my program. And I keep forgetting, I'm 5'5" and 47 years old. Um, my program, which is at Kaiser, specifically Kaiser, Richmond, California, has a program where you basically eat pretty much the diet you're going to have after the surgery, before the surgery. And I sort of modified that. I did it to start with, but then I pretty much modified it to more of a keto diet. I cut out all starches and sugars and fruits, and just went straight with um, I do more fat than my program would probably like me to, but I eat pretty much carnivore now. So I was required to lose 40 pounds, but before my surgery, I lost 50 pounds. And as of today, which is my 19-week check-in, I have, excuse me, I have lost um, 102.4 pounds. So I have a weight loss this week of 1.4 pounds. So I'm really happy. It's not as, I'd like more, and I'm getting back to eating steak, and actually I've started had 2 weeks, 2 days this week where I just had basically taken either steak or sausage in for breakfast. I had been doing breakfast sausage, and I had one that I really liked. I think it was Jones. And then I picked up another one that I got. Uh, my husband and I there's a store out near us in California that we go to that is Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. And my husband and I call it like the adventure or the scary grocery store, because they even say it's like, oh, it's treasure hunt, you never know what you're going to find. The prices are really cheap. It's a really good option, but you do not know what you're going to find. You can't guarantee they're going to have certain brands or even certain types of food. But I got a bag of breakfast sausage links, and I don't know, they just didn't taste right. So I'm not thrilled with this. So I've been doing other things, and I actually sous vide some steak last night. Had it last night. So good. It was really, really good. For those of you who aren't familiar with sous vide, it basically means in French under vacuum. And I got a sous vide wand, for lack of a better word, which is just basically like about that big, and it's an electronic plug-in device that sits in a bowl or a bath of water. They sell containers specifically for it. I've been using my KitchenAid because it has a nice deep bowl. So I've been pouring water into that and attaching the thing to the side and locking it into the KitchenAid not blender, KitchenAid mixer, and flipping up the top and doing it that way. But basically, you put whatever meat you're going to do in a bag that is sealed. So you can just use a Ziploc bag and push all the air out and seal it. Um, and then you put it under the water and stick this wand in, and it will get the water to a certain temperature, and then it'll cook it in the water for a while. So for steak, I usually do 130 degrees, which is like a medium or a medium rare. And then I put it in there I actually had it in there for an hour and a half because it was cooking from frozen. But really, if it's fresh, an hour is fine. And then it comes out, it looks kind of gross because it's like gray. But then you sear the outside of it. You just put it in the pan and do like a couple minutes on all of the sides. I do really thick steaks, so I actually do from top and bottom and then the sides to just get a little bit of brown, a little bit of crispiness to it. Um, Works really well. Cassie is being, say hi, hi. Oh, she wants attention right now, and she's being squirmy while she's sitting in my lap. But So I did that last night, and honestly, I took it out, and I sear it with a little bit of butter in the pan. But I had that, and I used my trusty scale and weighed 3 ounces. I think I had two small steaks, and I ended up having 3 ounces for last night, and then 3 containers, yeah, 3 containers worth of steak for lunch or dinner or breakfast, which is what I ended up having. I had breakfast this morning. And then I had leftover Chipotle. Oh, I got that tiki masala. There's a tiki masala at Costco. Uh, Chicken tiki masala mix, like a pre-made thing. I forget the name of the brand. But I got it. It has a little bit more carbs than I like because it has actual added sugar, but it's like for a 5 ounce serving, which is more than I eat. It was like 5 grams of sugar. So I was like, I had a little sample of it, and it's like, this tastes really good. So for my size, I think it probably has 3 or 4. I'm gonna guess 3 because I think it's got about a gram per ounce, and I only ate a 3 ounce serving. Um, so I had that for dinner one night, and then for lunch another time. I thought I was bringing Chipotle in, and I was surprised when I found the chicken, but it was so tasty. Um, no, kitty, not allowed on the desk. Um, she can just do too much damage if she's on the desk. So she's allowed to be on my lap, or she's allowed to be on the floor or in her bed, but that's it. Um, but anyway, so I'm just trying to keep it going. I've been a little constipated, and I had I took some smooth move tea. Um, so it was that I find that really works for me. I don't want to be too disgusting or anything, but it does work for me. I use it, and it's not like an instant thing. I know a lot of people use sugar-free candy, and they're like, oh, that gives, if I will have sugar-free candy, yes. I never go above um, a serving size of that because I know that that can really cause a lot of problems. And yes, it may cause you to go, but it also causes a lot of intestinal distress while you're going. So I don't think it's a fixed issue. I think it's more of a, do you really, how badly do you really need to go? I feel weird. I'm not wearing my necklace today, but I have a open neck thing. I've been wearing turtlenecks for a while, and when I wear the turtleneck, I don't wear a necklace because what's the point? But today I forgot to put one on, and I'm feeling a little bit naked. Today's support group. Again, I feel very weird about support group. I know it's nearby me. The Richmond. I live in Richmond, so the hospital is about 5 to 10 minutes away from me, and the medical building, where the program is, and also where the support groups meet, is attached to the hospital. So it's about 10 minutes away. So that is, it's not difficult for me to go if I don't have, like, if I'm super busy or planning a big event or something like that, or getting ready to on a trip. Yeah, those I have skipped support group on those, and I think I skipped it the day before Thanksgiving because not a lot of people were going to be there, and I had stuff that I was doing, so I'm like, screw it. But I find it very, like, sometimes I find it useful, and sometimes I don't, and I don't know. I feel sort of obligated, and it's probably a good obligation, and it's a good checking in. And part of it is that I talk to you guys about my weight loss, and I don't feel like I have a ton to say because I'm losing weight. Although this will be the first support group since I've lost 100 pounds, so I can say I've lost 100 pounds. That's going to feel good because last time I went, I could say I lost 99 pounds, which was not as cool. Maybe it was 98. I don't know, but I was like so close. I'm like, just get me there. but I am going to be, glad to do that, and it'll be a nice little celebration. But it is weird, I've been talking about, I've lost 100 pounds. I posted in a couple, I'm on Facebook in a couple of groups, and I posted my pictures that I posted on my videos of the transformation. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And I got a lot of positive feedback, but I don't know if I really want to do that, like in general. Like, I don't want to post to my normal friends. That's weird. Not that you guys aren't normal. No, but I don't know if I want to post to the general public, here's my weight loss and all that. It's like, if I feel like I want to just slowly start posting more pictures of myself as I feel better and feel like I look better in pictures. Um, and and have people comment on it and say, okay, yeah. But I was involved in a lot of that activist stuff, and it's not that I I believe that as long as you are comfortable and can live in your body, you don't need to feel pressured to lose weight. I don't feel that being thin is the solution to anyone's problems, unless those problems are, there's too much weight on my body and it's destroying my knees, which was my case. And yeah, I am trying to get down to a normal BMI, but I really don't feel strongly about, I feel strongly that BMI is an artificial number. And as long as I feel good and can move well, I'm not really going to be all that concerned about how thin I am. I mean, I have goals, but if I don't hit those goals, oh well, as long as I'm happy and healthy and not hurting myself, I don't have any problem. So I feel weird about posting just about my weight loss. It's like, oh, so I feel like I will just do it that way. But having said that, it's nice to go to support group and talk to other people. I'm in some virtual support groups, but sometimes it's nice to be there physically, and I will plan on going back. So, yeah. Which means I probably have to finish this up fairly soon so I can go there. I had a couple of non-scale victories. I have had people notice my weight loss, and like somebody today said, damn, every time I look at you, you are looking thinner. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I've had this big issue of not seeing my weight loss, like not knowing it was too thin. And I had a couple other things happen. One of them was I had a horrible, horrible, horrible thing happen after we had a lunchtime Christmas party for my work, and then we were supposed to go bowling, and I decided not to go bowling, and then decided to have my tire go flat and have a huge adventure that was not an adventure and not any fun, and don't ever do that. And know if you have a spare. That's a good thing to know. But I was at the restaurant that we were having the lunch at, and they had a mirror that was sort of a little bit above and sort of angled, I'm trying to do like angled down slightly. That's probably more of an angle than it was, but it was just slightly angled down. So if you looked at it, it kind of looked flat, but then it really wasn't. And then looked at myself in that mirror, and I'm like, wow, that looks good. And it's funny because I mentioned it to another one of the girls there. And I said, wow, that mirror in the bathroom really makes you look good. She goes, yeah, it's a little tilted. It's nice. So I was like, wow, that's cool. And the other one is I was out shopping with my husband, and we got separated, and he was looking for me, and he saw me, but then immediately looked somewhere else because he's like, that's not cat, that's not big enough, and then realized, no, that's cat. And I'm like, that's nice. Thank you. I'm happy. And it's funny because I say I'm not like all into the numbers, and I'm and I'm not all into being thin, and I think that I don't think anyone should be discriminated against for their size. I think that's stupid. I had it happen to me. It's very hurtful. It's one of the few things that you're still allowed to tease people about for no reason. And I think that, I was never lazy. Um, I didn't get fat because I was just lazy. I got fat because I was eating things, and I'm not even going to say like I had times where I was eating whole grains and everything that and vegetables and everything that I should be eating. I was eating on point, and I would barely lose weight. And I have to say that changing over and cutting out carbs and cutting out sugar completely because I would be eating like fairly like almost entirely clean and have like a tiny like, oh, this is going to get me by. It's just like a Hershey's Kiss or a Cadbury mini egg, just one thing. It wasn't that high in calories. It wasn't that high in anything, and I put it into my calorie count for the day, and I made it work. I still wasn't losing weight. When I cut out sugar completely, and when I cut out carbs, I really did start losing weight. And I think that it's not necessarily for everyone. It really works well for me. It's just impossible. But it's um, it's just something that I think is different for everybody and works different for everybody. But I don't, I know how hard I was working at losing weight, and it wasn't moving. I was working out and going and exercising and doing all these things that I should needed to do, and it still wasn't moving. So, I think that we just have to be really aware of what we're saying, and it's nobody is, you know, unless there's a fetish thing going on, nobody really chooses to be morbidly obese. And it's not because they're lazy and it's not because they don't care. It's, there's a lot of things that go into it. And I am happy that my life is changing. I'm starting to, see bits of it, but, it's going to be a slow process. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. And now I have to go and get myself to support group so I can brag about losing 100 pounds. Bye. I'll see you next week.